Hi guys, February is almost over, so that means it's time to talk about New Year's resolutions. And I know what you guys are thinking. February? New Year's resolutions? And yes, I'm a little behind, but that's not gonna stop me. My New Year's resolution was to read at least one book a month that was not for class or school or anything like that, just one book that was of my personal choice. And so far, I've been able to do that. In January, I read these books, but I forgot to make a video about them, so oops. February, I read this book, Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. Now, I know most of you probably read this in high school, but I didn't. I know I had the option to, but my high school during senior year, when most kids study Of Mice and Men, we had an entire semester of independent reading, and there was a big list of books, and I got to choose what I read. So I didn't choose Steinbeck. Oops. But reading it now, when I'm a little bit older, I think I actually gained a lot more than I would have reading it in high school. Even though it's such a famous book, I actually went into it pretty cold. I didn't know much about the story. I knew there was a guy who in one part kills a dog because he loves it too much and he doesn't know his own strength, but that's pretty much all I knew about the book. And I will be talking pretty frankly about the book, so to those who haven't read it, yeah, here be spoilers. I really like the characters in this book. George and Lenny, the two protagonists, I really like their pairing. I really like kind of their opposites. I really like the chemistry that they had together in the book. How George is always just getting mad at Lenny, and Lenny is just trying to make George happy. And I really, really liked Lenny a lot. I actually really like George a lot too. I probably am not supposed to because he was kind of a jerk, but he made me laugh and he made the book seem a lot more human. And that's actually one of the big themes about this book is being human. All of the characters are not really characters so much as they're character types. They're all kind of foil characters, especially all the male characters. They just kind of represent this bland kind of masculinity that was common at the time and is still common today. I also like the dream theme and how dreams were a large part of the story. All the characters in the book had these dreams, had these aspirations, and they all ultimately fail to accomplish them. And I also thought it was really interesting the way that Curly's wife kind of played the role of Eve in that she went around and cursed all the men, kind of because of her, because of what she represented, all these men who wanted to have their own plots of land, these farms. They all ended up getting stuck in this kind of dead-end job working in this little ranch style place. And Curly's wife is actually a really interesting character. She knows that she's kind of hot, she knows that she has this power over men, so she uses it and abuses that power to control people. But in the barn scene, she kind of opens up to Lenny and she shows that side of her that has those dreams, that also has those aspirations. So it was really interesting to see those two sides of her. And speaking of the barn scene, I really like the theme of innocence in the novel. For those of you who have read it, you obviously know that, Lenny is mentally handicapped. We don't really know exactly what he has, but we do assume that it's some sort of like a Down syndrome or an Asperger's type situation. He's pretty much normal physically. He's very large, but he's very, very slow to learn and has a hard time remembering instructions. And although he's innocent, he's very strong. He doesn't know his own strength. Like I said, he kills animals because he just wants to love them so much. He pets them too hard. And to those of you who read the book, that's how he kills Curly's wife, by playing with her hair so hard he breaks her neck. But the thing that's really interesting is that he was completely innocent in doing it. He didn't mean to kill her. He didn't even know what he was doing. He just wanted to enjoy her nice, soft, flowing hair. And it raises a lot of questions in turn when George kills Lenny for killing Curly's wife so that he can escape the trouble that would come because he was associated with Lenny. Another interesting point of the book I thought was kind of that double standard of morality that exists. That was clearly illustrated when, the book talks about how all these men, they would, earn their money and then they'd go blow it all on booze and women and gambling, and they'd spend, all this time and waste. But then when Curly's wife looks at them and flirts with them, all of a sudden it's like, oh, bad, scarlet letter. But it was perfectly okay for them to go to the whorehouses and blow all their money. So, that's kind of a double standard that exists today. Obviously, that kind of double standard shouldn't exist. And, I think Steinbeck was already making a commentary on that. But maybe he wasn't. But that's okay because books belong to their readers. But yeah, I really like the book. It was really short. I read it pretty quickly. I read it in one sitting in like an hour or two. Maybe you've read it faster, but that's okay because I read kind of slow anyway, and I wanted to get something out of it. And I know what I said probably wasn't very thought-provoking or very inspirational or new or good, but I don't care because I really liked the book, and I know I got something out of it, and maybe I just can't express it in words, but trust me, it was a very good book. I highly recommend it. It is very thought-provoking and really, really, really makes you think about what it means to be a human, what it means to have dreams, what it means to live life and what you're doing in this road that you're on. So that's all for now. Next month, I will be talking about the book that I will have read. I haven't picked it yet. So if you have a suggestion of a good book that I should read, leave it below in the comments. Be sure to subscribe for more videos. Give me a thumbs up. Suggest more video ideas that you have. Tell me that my shirt is ugly, because it kind of is. Tell me that I need to lose weight. Do whatever you want, and I will see you later.